Devontae Morgan disappeared on May 5th, 2020.
I'm thinking every moment, every second out of the day, where's my baby?
His family is desperate for answers.
I believe that this area in particular is known for KKK, cults, underworld fighting.
By the time we got up there, his girlfriend wasn't really helping. She was like speaking in like riddles and stuff. Like it was weird.
In my experience, she was acting way out of line.
This episode of Disappeared retraces Devontae's last known steps.
This case does haunt me because this is not a normal case.
I'm like, if something happened to my brother, like did something happen to my brother?
Right away, I'm like, we need to get up there because this is just not like Devontae.
The more people who know Devontae's story, the greater the chance of bringing him home. Share on social media. Get the word out. Help find him. Have you seen Devontae Morgan?
My name is Terry, and I am Devontae's mother. He was born special. From day one, everyone took to him, starting with the nurses. It's his aura, It was before he even laughed. It was just him. I guess just amazing eyes. He's always had an amazing soul. I have never met a person that didn't, take to him.
Devontae is my big brother. I know growing up around Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco, like, I want to be just like him. I probably could have got like a wish where they was like, you could turn into your big brother if you wanted to. I probably would have did it. He was always like popular. All the girls loved him. My brother is very musically inclined. He loved to freestyle, make music. He likes to sing, play the drums, and play the piano.
My name's Ruthie. I'm Devontae's auntie. Devontae had a stuttering problem for about, I want to say about a good 11, 12 years of his life. And it probably would take him about 5 minutes to get a whole full sentence out. The only time he didn't have a stuttering issue, you can get him to entertain and perform anywhere in a drop of a dime.
He sang in the choir and he helped with the kids in church. He's a leader.
So family meant everything to Devontae. He never missed a baby shower, a birthday party, kids' birthday parties, kids' births, christening. He was there. His comfort zone was home, church, our neighborhood here in San Francisco, and he really didn't go too much past that.
He didn't like to be away from home much. He was big on like staying close to the ones that he loved. But in 2019, my brother met a new girl and they started dating.
Devontae met his girlfriend at the Stone Grove concert in the avenues of San Francisco. It was pretty spontaneous, a fluke. They met eyes and she just never left his state.
My brother was doing different things and he was being happy. She brought him to Vegas. She was bringing him to beaches and stuff. I've never seen kind of my brother do these kind of things, and these are always things I've always wanted my brother to do.
She was about 20 years older than him, give or take, but the girl was smart. She was a life coach at one point, and she was able to pull Devontae from out of his comfort zone.
I never wanted to make an issue about her age. I just wanted my son to be happy and, and live life, But I did see, a lot of red flags.
Devontae and his girlfriend loved to go to a lot of places, and on May 4th, they decided to drive off. to Mount Shasta, which is 4 hours north of San Francisco. They were just doing a bed and breakfast type of deal. And his nephew's birthday party was going to be on May 5th, so he was planning to return home to San Francisco the next day for the birthday party.
Well, I called his girlfriend's phone knowing that my brother's phone was broken. And he seemed pretty, at peace and calm and, happy about being somewhere different. It was the last time we spoke.
My name is Tessa Clure. I was born and raised in Mount Shasta, and I'm currently the mayor. Mount Shasta is a small, close-knit community. We do wild, and Mount Shasta definitely appeals to those that want to come here for spiritual purposes. Some believe that the mountain itself provides healing aspects or properties to them. We also have the headwaters of the Sacramento River that are said to hold some cleansing and spiritual aspects as well.
And I know that his girlfriend is spiritual. She likes to collect her crystals and sage and all of that.
She's always talking about the stars and the numbers and the alignment. All this stuff.
On May 5th, 2020, that night, my brother's girlfriend called me and told me, man, we got into an argument. He left and he hasn't came back. You know how Devontae is. I don't remember hearing distraught or worry in her voice. And I think that played a big part in me kind of being okay, well, let's give it some time. Because I know if y'all arguing, he probably felt like he could just walk off and feel like it's cool. It didn't really sound like it was a pressed emergency when she reached out to me. I just remember initially thinking it wasn't real weird.
Once Thursday, May 7th came, the girlfriend called Anthony, his brother, and said that Devontae was missing since Tuesday, May 5th. Right away, I'm like, we need to get up there because this is just not like Devontae. She called me and I said, we're on our way, but I need to go make a police report. Not now, but right now.
My name is Sergeant Pretty with the Mount Shasta Police Department. An official missing persons report was filed on May 7th at 9:16 a.m. by Devontae Morgan's girlfriend. Devontae Morgan's girlfriend initially told us that they checked into a local motel and got a rental car on the 4th of May. Said in the early hours of May 5th, she was awoken by Devontae to come outside and have a cigarette. She was mad at Devontae for waking her to come outside and have a cigarette. They realized that they left the hotel key inside the hotel, and they called the after-hours service to get let back in. An on-call manager came down and let them both back in.
Devontae's comfort zone was home, but due to where he was at, he didn't even want to go smoke a cigarette out there by himself.
They continued to fight till the early hours of May 5th. At that point, she said that they went walking their separate ways to cool off. So they both left the hotel.
She just put it like he was just away because this is what he does. He'll get away from her if he needs to.
She wanted to go see the sunrise, and Devontae went the other direction. In the morning on May 5th, she saw Devontae on the other side of the street on North Mount Shasta Boulevard, walking in a different direction. She stated that he still looked mad, so she continued back to the motel. Devontae Morgan's girlfriend explained that this is common in their relationship, that when they get into fights, they both agree to go separate ways for cooling off. But now it's been over 24 hours and this is not normal. Devontae Morgan's girlfriend told the officer that he was wearing black sweatpants and had on 49er flip-flops. And she said that his phone was broken. She didn't act she acted, loony. She was all over the place. She did not seem too concerned or sad or upset that he has not been found. In my experience, she was acting way out of line for someone that she should be caring about filing a missing persons report.
Usually missing people in Mount Shasta need a rescue on the don't know that type of thing. So to hear that someone could potentially be missing and they're not off of a hiking trail, it was definitely alarming.
For the family, we went up to Mount Shasta immediately. At that point, I was really worried. I was spooked. I just remember being afraid, like, what if we can't find him?
On the drive up there, I'm thinking every moment, every second of the day, where's my baby and what happened to him? Where did he go?
I just was like, just on save the day mode. I know that his girlfriend knows more. She was with him, and I won't answer. Before Devontae went missing, he was going through some things emotionally. He was in a very, very hurt space.
In 2017, he was shot on our front porch from a bullet that was meant for someone else. He was shot in the pelvis and in the hand.
It wasn't his fault. He wasn't a person that was involved in like any problems or any type of street issues. He was definitely like mistargeted. I think somebody wrote to him like, 'cause that is his safe haven, is his home.
What a freak accident to get shot on his own porch for a bullet hit for someone else. So pretty much at 25 years old, he felt as if his life has stopped.
I think what a lot of people don't think of or understand is like when you get shot, there's the physical pain you got to recover from, and there's like a big traumatic like mental thing you have to like overcome, and it's hard. So he definitely did like smoke weed or like drink some alcohol like to help cope with the pain.
He wouldn't let it keep him down. He pushed himself to heal more quickly than he should have, and it caused him to walk with a side limp, and it caused him to be depressed. Like, why me? I'm a good person. I'm good to everybody. Why did this happen to me?
He still seemed prayerful and hopeful, but he admitted that he just wasn't well. It got hard for him.
He's kind of private. He wouldn't want to share that much, but I pretty much had to push him, to let him know that life is not over and God has a plan for him. That's why he's still here.
He definitely wanted to get clean, wanted to be sober. He used to go to the gym every day, and that kept him sober. He definitely was trying to still progress, but it's hard.
That's something that I think the girlfriend definitely took advantage of and kept him like a carrot on a string with. She kept the alcohol and the bottles going because I think she did drugs herself.
Before he went missing, they definitely fought a lot. I know that they weren't a happy couple. I would say that. She was very, very demanding, and she wanted to always pick a fight. She wanted to make sure that she was being heard, let's put it that way. Even though they had weird and irritating long arguments, I never thought about my brother just go missing. We went up to Mount Shasta on a Thursday, May 7th, and my ride going up to Mount Shasta was so blurry. I need to get a conversation with the girlfriend. I need to talk to her right now. By the time we got up there, his girlfriend wasn't really helping. She was speaking in riddles and stuff. It was weird. And off in the sunset with a pina colada versus explaining that this is just something he would never do. You could tell in her mind, it was spinning. It was spinning and it was constantly going, and it was stuff, and it was just different stuff, and she was just blurting it out. She'd be like, oh, Devontae's here. I can feel him. He's here. Oh, I think it's crazy. But this don't make sense because if the trees talking to the moon, and the moon started talking to the star. Like, she was doing stuff like that to the point that it had us like, oh my God. Like, we couldn't even like fully like take her serious so much, but we were trying to because she was the only person that was there, but she felt like everything she had us doing was like throwing us off. I'm like, why is she crazy? What happened? That was a big thing for me. I'm like, if something happened to my brother, like did something happen to my brother, because why is she loopy?
Something was wrong. And thinking back now, something happened to him while in her presence. I believe that the girlfriend had something to do with Devontae going missing.
Her narrative was almost like derailing purposely to give this like voluntary missing story.
In my opinion, the police department didn't take it seriously by him being a 28-year-old. And to them, you know, he probably got tired of her and walked away. Knowing my child, I tried to enforce them to do more.
I feel like there's certain type of disappearances that get more recognition than someone like my nephew. I feel like because he's a Black African-American man, later in his age too, just like kind of just flows off people's back.
We thought maybe Devontae Morgan just went and got another hotel and didn't want to be around the girlfriend. But as soon as the family showed up, we could see, just by speaking to them, that they were extremely concerned. Completely opposite of how Devontae's girlfriend was acting, and we knew it was serious. And it sounds like he was an extremely family-oriented guy, and he would not just voluntarily go missing without at least calling his brother. Devontae Morgan's girlfriend told us that his phone was broken, so a ping might not bring up an accurate location to search. So, unfortunately, phone records were not helpful.
The police didn't have any information for us, no leads. I was frustrated.
So we made our first official flyers and gathered a search party in the woods. It's not a good combination. We love you, Vontae. You know we love you when we out here.
Behind the car, walking up and went, excuse me, my brother's missing. Can I please just give you a flyer?
Meanwhile, the girlfriend keeps saying, on this day, Devontae's going to show up, he's going to manifest, he's going to reappear and all this. So at this point, everybody's scared of her, you know, like, what is she trying to do to us? I mean, what happened to my son?
Then we got a report from a local resident that she had remembered a couple fighting outside of her house on May 5th, the day Devontae Morgan went missing. The resident is located just north of the Cold Creek Inn, and she heard them fighting at 9:30 in the morning. Devontae's girlfriend initially told us that they did not speak to each other that morning. This contradicts what the witness saw and heard with her timeline. We are now growing way more suspicious of the girlfriend, but we don't have any hard evidence against the girlfriend.
All she kept saying is that where she was emotionally and what she was going through while she was up in Mount Shasta. And I remember me stopping her and saying, I don't give a about you. I don't. I'm here for my nephew. She needed to go home, back to San Francisco. So we asked his girlfriend to leave. And we never really heard from her after that.
Due to the strange circumstances with Devontae Morgan's girlfriend, we did change it to not voluntary missing, but to suspicious missing persons case. I believe she knows more than she's giving. We don't have anything to charge her with, hold her on.
I was just like, I'm not going to get any answers. And I'm like, at this point, I didn't trust nobody to find my brother but me.
It's May 14th, and we still don't have any hard leads. So right now we are trying to track Devontae Morgan as best we can through surveillance. Surveillance is really huge for us in Mount Shasta because we are such a small agency in such a small town. We don't have CCTV like a lot of bigger cities. So when someone does go missing in the city limits of Mount Shasta, we immediately try to hop on that and go to local businesses just so we can see have cameras that caught anything. We were able to obtain 10 different camera angles of Devontae walking. The first time we locate Devontae Morgan on May 5th, the date he went missing, we have him walking in front of the police department, and you can see him crossing the street on North Mount Shasta Boulevard, now heading west on Lake Street. We catch him walking again west on Lake Street, him cross Lake Street and go to the local Valero gas station. So then next we know he's at Valero, so we go to Valero and try to get their surveillance system. And this is where we get Devontae Morgan in this clip making a purchase. So after Devontae Morgan made the purchase, he headed back east on Lake Street past the police department and then headed back north the way he came on North Mount Shasta Boulevard. And the next known footage we have is at the Jefferson Soul on the North Mount Shasta Boulevard, which is approximately a quarter mile north of the Cold Creek Inn. So he has passed the hotel and he's continuing to walk. Approximately 2 minutes later, he is seen passing Jefferson Soul, now heading south back towards the Cold Creek Inn on North Mount Shasta Boulevard. He also is picked up on Chestnut Street by a local crystal store on their surveillance, where he is seen heading north on Chestnut Street and then making a right-hand turn heading east on Alma Street. The next known location Devontae is picked up on camera is on Alma Street, heading east, and the Sisson Middle School picked him up on camera. And he's continuing to walk east on Alma Street. Sisson Middle School also picks him up on another camera, continuing on Alma Street till he hits Rockefeller. Devontae then is seen crossing Rockefeller before he turns west, heading down Rockefeller, which would continue back down towards the Cold Creek Inn. And he doesn't appear to be drunk, he doesn't appear to be on drugs. And that's the last time we have him on video surveillance. Everywhere Devontae was picked up on security camera is a very normal, safe place to be walking. There is no suspicious activity. This is where all the mom and pop shops are. It's a very normal place to see someone walking every day, all day. After reviewing the pattern and the path that Devontae is seen walking, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. It's all within a couple-minute walking distance of the hotel that he's staying at. And it's a beautiful day, and he's just casually out on a stroll.
Did he seem distraught? Did he seem like he was all over the place? Did he seem like he was just walking, trying to get a breath of fresh air, and he was going to go back to the hotel? And we're like, oh my God, because this is just another key, piece to the puzzle.
He looked normal. He just looked like he was going for a stroll.
So then we received a tip that between 9:30 and 10 a.m., a local mail delivery person stopped and saw Devontae in the area of Rockefeller and Alma. He looked a little disoriented and asked for instructions to a hotel over on Alma Street. The mailman expressed to him that we don't have any hotels on Alma Street, but we have an apartment complex there, and gave Devontae directions to that. The Alma Street apartment complex is not near the Cold Creek Inn. The mailman later saw Devontae Morgan on Alma Street, but not near the apartment complex, so he stopped again and rerouted him to that area. Later, the same mailman located Devontae Morgan off of Rockefeller on Ski Bowl Drive. This time he did not stop to speak with him. So after reviewing all the surveillance and nailing down all the times we have spotted Devontae Morgan, we are looking to see, is he heading out of town or is he heading up the mountain so we can branch out? Or we're looking to see if he's picked up by someone, a vehicle, the girlfriend, we don't know.
Just because that he was last seen walking in downtown certainly doesn't mean that that's where he went missing. Our downtown is only 2 miles in length and very condensed. Once you get outside of the downtown, it's definitely easy to get lost.
In Mount Shasta, we have never had a case like this, and so it was extremely new to us and hard and just deal with because we don't have a detective unit. We have one officer at a time. We don't have search dogs. We don't have a lot of resources that, a bigger city would have. By this time in the investigation, we had followed up on every lead, and we realized that we needed outside support. In my experience, this missing persons case was unusual, and it continued to get more unusual.
My name is Michael Burns. I was a former deputy with the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office, and I ran the search and rescue program in Siskiyou County for about 7 years. We began a search and rescue for Mr. Morgan in the general area here. We set what we call a wheel, a hub. We did it at a half-mile radius from the parking lot right behind me at the library. We started off with canvassing the area with SAR volunteers, with vehicles, going door to door, handing out missing person flyers, asking anybody if they had seen Mr. Morgan walking or in the vicinity. That search area expanded into our wooded areas here. There's several wooded areas in that hub that we expanded into. We looks in the wooded areas within our search hub.
They tell us the best time to start searching is that 24 to 48 hours after they gone missing, because after that, it's hard to distinguish what has happened. By the time 48 hours came along, that's when we were reporting him missing. Honestly, I felt like those searches were just done because we complained long enough and got to get it done. Not done because, oh yeah, we're about to find him. What's going on? He's missing? Okay, well, we need to go here. We need to look here. We need to look there. But it wasn't that.
We got one search that was just so vague and just so we did that ourselves.
We expanded our searches out by asking Southern Oregon Search and Rescue to assist in our area, and we expanded out a mile outside of the area he was last seen and searched all possible areas. We expanded them as far as we could naturally take care of and use the resources for. Siskiyou County is 4 million acres of wilderness, the complete size of Hawaii. Outside of that, you have millions and millions of acres of just woodland where it would be impossible and a waste of resource to continue searching without any needs. I do feel that we went above and beyond and still are to this day.
In the search area that we searched, we did not locate anything pertaining to Mr. Morgan.
So as of 1 month into this investigation, we had followed up on every lead. We'd had search and rescue. We had multiple outside agencies as far down as San Francisco asking for help, the FBI, and we just still did not have any viable leads, and we were hitting dead ends.
We didn't have the biggest support from the police department, and we needed things to start rolling. I believe that this area in particular is known for all these dark side underworld type living. Underworld as in KKK, cults, underworld fighting. I'm like, anything could happen to Devontae. Anything.
Devontae Morgan was last seen May 5th, 2020. If you have any information, please contact the Mount Shasta Police Department at 530-926-7540.
By June 8th, it started to feel like everything got dried up in Mount Shasta. So it was very vital for us to just do stuff and put an action into finding him. We had to do other things.
We were broadcasting, my brother, every way we can. We went to set Mount Shasta on fire.
We went knocked door to door. Whatever businesses were open in every car and every pole in the city and the surrounding towns. And there is a hotline and there is the $25,000 reward.
We would go to supermarkets and snatch the loudspeaker, and we're going up to different parts of mountains, suspicious places that people really normally aren't going to. We went in, but the people who were around the Mount Shasta were not inviting, and they definitely didn't want us there.
It's also definitely a predominantly white area. There's a very handful of black people that stay there. It wasn't ultimately comfortable. It's known that we found out being out there they had active KKK, and I heard like the leader or somebody who runs the KKK drive through the town with like a big Confederate flag like on the side of the truck. And that was something we had to see every day.
My interaction with everybody was peaceful, but Mount Shasta is, I hate to say it in this day and age, racist. That wasn't too helpful.
We would spend the whole day putting up flyers. Like, we would spend all the way hours, and we'll come out the next morning, they all be gone, except for like a few. But even some stores were taking them down after we put them up in there. Why are people taking it down? Is it just because he's a black male that's missing up here, or is it because there's somebody somewhere that doesn't want him to be seen and broadcast on a bigger level across town because something malicious might have happened? I remember we went up to a campsite and we began showing him like flyers, like, "Have you seen my brother?" Took the flyer and was like, "No, we ain't seen him, but if we do, we'll tie him to a tree in the back and give you a call." Same person pulled out guns on us and was like, we had to leave off the property. It was upsetting.
We knew that we were in an area that was not safe for us. We were told, don't come this way, don't look this way. We got a bird, what was it, like a chicken foot thrown at us? A live chicken foot thrown at us while we were putting up flyers. It was like the Twilight Zone up there, seriously. And when nightfall, it was just a different feel. Like, it seemed nice, but when that nightfall, you seen what it really, the skeletons of the town, the dark side of the town. We definitely made it clear that we were here for peace, but we definitely didn't back down either. No one was gonna drive us away. We made that clear.
Hate crimes do have to be reported to the Department of Justice, and I know for a fact in the last 10
And we are very equality based and would love diversity. We are a community of a lot of different people. We were founded by Italian immigrants who came to work in the lumber mill. That's kind of how it started. And we are still a majority Italian American community that has now grown. And our surrounding communities are largely diverse, more so than we are, but we would welcome diversity with open arms.
We were walking on public property, and then you'll just get onto private property and you don't know. So you'll be told and you'll be warned. And I think he was murdered by someone for that. But as I start learning of all what took place, I'm like, Lord knows what could have happened.
I think he could have been targeted because he was an outsider and from the city. If they were targeting black people out there, I don't know. I felt like maybe there was some foul play.
We are not a racist community. We are a community of love and respect and open arms. And setting foot into this community, it would take 10 minutes to know that that's exactly who we are.
What is going on up here? Like, something's going on up here and it's not making sense. And then I heard from an older dude, he was walking out of Burger King. And I was like, "Oh, excuse me, like, you think I could have a moment of your time? I want to talk to you about my brother." He was like, "Your brother?" He's like, "Devontae's your brother?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, Devontae, like, that's my blood brother." And he told me, this is what I personally heard. He said, these guys drove him somewhere and then was like, trying to rob him for his money. My brother's not going for it. So fought, and like, they ended up stabbing him and pushing him in the river.
Devontae Morgan's brother heard one story that Devontae Morgan had been taken in a white van and went to a rural area out in the woods behind our lake called Twin Arrows.
It's a wooded campground up behind Lake Siskiyou, about 4 miles outside of town.
We did send an officer out there and were not able to locate anything, and several people were contacted confirming that Devontae Morgan had not been at that area. After investigating the area of Twin Arrows and speaking to everyone, we did not feel it was important to search the river, so everything came to a dead end.
We put the money on the reward, but we would get these big stories from people, and it would just be like a dead
also offer a reward for his return. So having a reward with a missing person is great and does generate lots of good leads, but unfortunately, there are some leads that come in where people are just trying to take advantage of the reward money with no factual evidence. In February 2021, almost a year later, Devontae Morgan is still missing, and we still don't have any hard leads. Once you're entered into a database for missing persons, which is a nationwide database, anytime a body is located that matches the descriptors, they will then put a hit out that, hey, this is a possible match. So we now are looking for DNA from family relatives so we can enter that into the DNA database to help us generate new leads.
So it took me a while to do it because I was scared, I was nervous. I didn't want to because I thought maybe they might have found him dead. But I did have my DNA taken here.
On September 17, 2021, we got a possible match of a male matching the description of Devontae Morgan, who was unfortunately burned up in a fire. They were found in Jackson County, Oregon, which is approximately an hour and a half away from us. And so we took it as a very good lead. Unfortunately, because it was burned, we had to go into dental records and then DNA. It was at that point eliminated that it was not Devontae.
It's frustrating that my nephew is still not here.
The police never offered any helicopters, never a search party bigger than my family and the few people in town. And it didn't even seem like they cared enough about my brother.
To this day, almost 3 years after the initial investigation started, we still have the case open. We are still actively getting interest in the case, and we are still getting information, and we are following up on every lead that does come in. And I know the family does feel that we are not doing enough, but we are a very small department, and this was a very, very big case and a very big workload for our department and the few officers that we did have. And I do believe throughout the community, my police department, Devontae's family, we all want the same thing. We want to find Devontae. In my 10 years in law enforcement with the Mount Shasta Police Department, this case does haunt me because this is not the type of community we live in.
As a mayor and as more so just a community member of Mount Shasta, we would really love him to be found. One of our community members is missing and we want him back.
I don't think he's passed on because I don't feel that. And I believe my son is still out there and he can't, for whatever reason, he can't come home. He can't call us. He can't. I don't know what the reason is, but whatever it is, I feel he's still there and he's waiting for my help.
We tried to get his girlfriend to help us, but she hasn't. I think his girlfriend was straight up the cause of him being missing. I believe that there's so much more to her story, and I want and I pray that one day that her conscience will eat her up so much to where she'll come forth.
There's not 1 second, not 1 second that goes by that I don't think about him.
I just try to keep hope and keep understanding, but holding on to this hope is also hard. And I missed you, Devontae.
Yeah, I just want to let him know that how much I love him and how much him being gone has affected the whole family. And not just our family, our community.
Our family has not been the same since he's been missing. Since he's been gone. We can't do nothing without remembering his smile, his laugh, his handsome face, most beautiful eyes, and just a good person. He meant well. He walked with love and purpose. I want answers. I want to be able to close this up, knit it up, say it happened, and be thankful that we know what happened, and move on and try to find some peace in what has happened, whatever that may be.
Spread my brother's name. If you know anything, please let us know.
I'm just asking the public, if you know anything, please contact us. Anybody that can help me bring my son back home.
Kristen did not run away. She was abducted and taken.
Unless it's your own daughter, nobody cares.
This is where Kristen fell into this dark
$1 per night.
Every parent's